Hi everyone, I think we are now ready to begin. Welcome to today's webinar, which is an introduction to Awin Access to all our wonderful publishers on the network. Quick introduction from me. For those of you who I haven't met before, my name is Michelle O'Sullivan and I'm Business Development Director for Awin in the UK. And I'm here because for the last couple of years, one of my key projects has been overseeing the micro-SME segment for the network. So the aim of today is hopefully only to take up really 25-30 minutes of your time to give you an introduction to the emergence of micro-SME, embracing the affiliate marketing channel, and a bit more about Awin Access. I'm going to show you some of the exciting new brands that you could be promoting. So I've got a couple of my top picks from last year to really bring to life for you what these kind of micro SMEs look like. And then I'm going to be handing over to Steph, who's also on this call, who will talk to you a bit more about how you can connect and support these businesses. And at the end, we will hang on for 5 minutes or so to cover any questions that you might have. So if you aren't familiar with the Teams software you're logged into, on the top right-hand side of the screen, there should be a little like Q&A box that you can open up and you can submit a question as we go. Anything that is clearly something we'll answer privately, we'll do so, but anything that's kind of a question we think everyone would like to hear, we will read those out. So yeah, please submit away. Right, so to begin, what do I mean by micro-SME? And actually the official definition is a micro-SME is a business of 9 or less employees. So a startup or small business, it's very early in their journey. And I think a stat that came as a surprise to me when I started to research this segment in more detail was that actually of SMEs across the EU, micro-SMEs make up 93%, actually 23 million advertisers. And what we've experienced in Awin is last year, 2020 versus 2019, inquiries, so new business leads coming into the website, are up 520% year on year. And we have very significant growth expectations for this segment, certainly for this, but really over the next 5 years. And look, there's a number of factors to this. It was trending anyway, but obviously with COVID, we've got a lot of these small businesses that are having to transition to online and have a new digital strategy. But also, you know, we've got Generation Z entering the workforce now. These are very mobile, native, ambitious individuals that understand the power of online. So I think there's a real mixture of characters and entrepreneurs that are coming and get involved with affiliate marketing. So a recent research study by the IAB, so the IAB did a study last year about SME. And there were some highlights from this report, which shows what a huge untapped opportunity this is for us. So when they surveyed small businesses, 88% actually said that their digital advertising was like completely underutilized. And 22% said they didn't even do any digital advertising at all. They just focused on other traditional forms of advertising. And those that did use digital advertising and affiliate marketing, it was only the 5th most popular paid for activity, which feels like wrong given the fact that, you know, affiliate marketing is all around payment on performance. And I think it shows that perhaps there's a bit of a lack of awareness of the channel, and there's a massive amount that we can do, whether it's as a network or a publisher or an agency, to help to educate these businesses. Also in 2000, Awin conducted a survey to around 2,000 consumers. And what they told us early last year was that 59% were making a conscious effort to shop local. And I've got a quote there from Mary Porter's of, you know, every pound we spend is about to how we want to live. And again, pre-COVID, not keep using that word, but, you know, pre-COVID, this was a trend that we were seeing. You know, individuals wanted to shop locally, support grassroots e-commerce, best of British, or whatever you'd like to refer to it as. And this is behaviour that has grown over the course of last year because of supporting locally and those businesses and the high street demise, but also perhaps because some of the behaviour of the brands larger brands they may not have particularly liked. So they're switching where they're spending, and it goes to show you that since we started the micro-SME solution, we've helped to drive 12.2 million visits to micro-SMEs, and so far it's 35 million euros in sales revenue. So a little bit more about the journey that we've been on. So I'm going to go back a step. So I'm a business development director at the moment, but previously I was commercial director for Awin. And one thing that I found frustrating a little bit in that role was that there was lots of startups and small businesses that would come into my team, and we wouldn't be able to support them because our entry-level solution back a few years ago was a supported tier of an account consultant. And of course, we had to charge a setup fee, and there were higher monthly fees in order to put that resource on the account for us to be profitable. So it would mean that a lot couldn't either afford it, or if we would agree to take someone, they might find that they didn't make the return as quickly as they'd like, and they may renegotiate and close. So essentially what happened was, when I moved from commercial into business development, one of the first projects the country manager, Ian, sent me was, okay, go and think of a solution for this segment. So I squirreled away. I went out to Chicago and visited our sister network, ShareASale, which has been built for the long tail SME self-management, and came back and basically had the guts of what was to be born as Awin Access, and that was around mid-2018. We had a selection, maybe 5 or 10 advertisers that we took on, and then over the course of around 12 to 18 months, we refined our process and the proposition and looked at ways that we were all going to automate the onboarding, and we had around 150 advertisers in the end as part of the pilot. So with the 150, everything refined, we were sure we were ready to go to market, which we did in the UK last January. And no surprises from some of the numbers I've shown you. It's just been very, very popular. Then we got into sort of February, March, and with the pandemic, we realised that a lot more were transitioning online. So we did one or two things. We did a promotion to extend the fixed monthly fee, which is only quite low anyway, but we made that free for the minimum term. So essentially, these businesses could come and work with Awin and with you guys on a performance-only model to give them a chance. And we also expedited the rollout into our other markets. So we are now live with Awin Access in Benelux and in DAC, Italy and Spain, and then slightly later in the year we did France, Nordics, Eastern Europe and Republic of Ireland as of a few weeks ago. So it's been an amazing effort from the team to get that through a lot quicker than planned, like I say, because of the pandemic and because we recognised this was something that was in demand from these advertisers. And just so that you're aware what Awin Access kind of looks like, the crux of it is it's a self-managed solution. So an advertiser can come and enjoy using the Awin platform, but it's all on a self-managed basis. They don't have a named account support working with them. It's free to set up a program. The costs are very low. All advertisers are set on direct debit. All have auto validation of commissions switched on, and that's relative to their cancellation period. So if they say that they've got 14 days for someone to return an item, auto validation is switched on 7 days after that to give them room to validate, up to a maximum of 67 days. So that's great for you guys, because obviously it means that you're not going to have lots of age validations sat there pending forever. They have full access to reaching out to you guys, so full publisher partner directory access, and also they can utilise the opportunity marketplace. They have full reporting suite, and because they don't have a named account manager, they're not left completely on their own. There is online support, so they can in the UK use live chat. They can raise a request into the support team and get a response over email. We run webinars for them on different topics, like managing their voucher code strategy, or webinars on training for the UI. There are also YouTube videos and some new bite-sized content videos that we're about to drive out, and things like our wiki. So there's lots of online resources and support for these advertisers. Okay, so I guess the fun part is showing you guys my top picks from 2020. I mean, we've got 870 advertisers across Europe now. A bulk load of those are from the UK because we were the first to go to market. But yeah, I think what I tried to do here is show you examples of advertisers by different types that perhaps we wouldn't have been able to work so closely with before. So the first one is advertisers that may just trend for a short period of time. And this is an absolutely perfect example, which is face masks. Let's all hope that we won't be needing these in 6 to 9 months' time, but we've obviously needed them desperately over the last year. And we have multiple mask programs, but this one in particular, Packer Mask, absolutely killed it. They performed at what we would refer to as a key account level, and I know that many of you probably listening in have enjoyed some great commissions off of these guys. Their actual commission rate itself was incredibly high, something like 15%, 20%. And they've just done very, very well. A lovely product, it's washable, reusable, and really bold advertising. So it's made the site conversion really, really strong. So an example of a program that is just someone that's trending. Another is looking at advertisers that you may have overlooked before that perhaps only sell one item. And you might look at a website and be like, okay, it looks nice, but it's one item, really popular. Well, as Mela has proven, it can be. So Mela sell a one item or 1 or 2 blankets, and they're weighted. So they're for people that have sleep issues or anxiety, and it's really popular, and it's one of our really great performing programs, and definitely one I think that you guys should take a look at. Another is ethical. So I think, we've got a lot of small brands within the ethical space. And here's an example of one, which is Nakuku. So any publishers listening in that have websites around home and lifestyle, or that you want to promote ethical or eco-friendly materials, Nakuku has a lovely product selection of ethically sourced items that, again, definitely recommend that you check out. The next is, I've called it artists and artisans. So I think that with Awin Access, what you're seeing now is that we've not gone down, or we don't have the kind of Etsy style, or many of the sort of Etsy style sites of arts and crafts and sort of limited selection, but we do have artists in these kind of products. And here's an example of a program. Stephen Brown, you may recognise his Makus, the Maku art of the Highland cow and the colourful artwork. It's been very popular. So a nice website to promote if you've got anything within gifting or again within home. Been popular throughout the whole year, but of course, especially around gifting seasonality. Another one that I wasn't going to do too in ethical, but I just felt I had to. This is a company called Wild, and they sell one item, again, which is a sustainable natural deodorant. And who would have thought it? It absolutely is one of the most popular programs and popular items. And it's all natural product. The case is made from recyclable materials, and the refills are plastic free. It's a subscription model. And again, anybody that's promoting health and beauty or ethical sustainable definitely should check out this program. And the last one today from my top picks 2020 is, again, single item, but looking more down the innovation tech route. So here's a company called Capsule. The guy that runs it has a background, many years, 10, 15 years in vacuum manufacturing. And he went about it alone and has produced this item called the Halo Cleaner. You can see some of it in the view there. And it's very popular. So I think anyone, again, listening in that maybe a price comparison site or focuses on electrical items or home, be sure to check them out. They might not have a product feed because it's one item. So again, if you're ingesting feeds, and this wouldn't appear within that. So I would have to say you need to go and set this up directly for your websites. But very popular and has grown significantly in the last 12 months. So that's all for me for now, and I'm now going to hand over to Steph, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about how you can connect and support these businesses.
Thanks, Mish. Hi, everyone. My name is Steph, and I'm the Media Partnerships Manager at Awin. I've been at Awin for about 3 years, and in the publisher department for about 2. And I'm just going to chat to you a little bit more about the benefits of Awin Access for publishers and how we can support the Access accounts to grow. So we want to start these relationships early so you can form a long lifetime bond with these different advertisers. They may be small now, but someday they might become key accounts. And if you can help support them get there, they'll remember that and reward you towards the end. As we've also just seen, they offer a lot of variety. So this gives your customers more choice in determining kind of what they want to buy. So it's always better to offer your customers more choice. In terms of earnings, as Mish already mentioned, these advertisers work with wider margins, which means better commission rates for the publishers. And they're also more agile. A lot of the big brands you might work with have lots of legal processes and can take long to turn around any tenancy or anything like that. And these smaller brands don't have the same processes, so they're a lot more agile. And in terms of validation and payments, all the Awin Access accounts are on auto validation, which means that you won't wait longer than around 67 days for transactions to be approved. We also want to help you stand out to these Access accounts so you look attractive to them. We want to build long-term partnerships. It's a partnership that'll be mutually beneficial, and in the long run, it's always better to start in the beginning of the journey when the brands have so much more room to grow. But we have to also ask ourselves, do you need to maybe adapt? Your publisher profile is something you will have filled in when you first joined Awin. Now, this could have happened 5 years ago, so we might need to go back and check if the publisher profile is complete, it's clear, it's concise, and the contact information is relevant. The Access accounts, as Mish mentioned, are all self-managed, so they don't have any account managers, and they'll have to sift through the publisher profiles themselves. So it's always more attractive for a publisher profile to be as in-depth as possible. Another question is, do we work on a CPA only? Some publishers have an integration fee or work on tenancies, and a lot of the smaller brands don't have the same budgets as the larger brands. So we need to maybe think about having a low-cost option for these brands. As we know, the brands are a lot smaller, so it's important to help tell their story and share their ethos so we can help them grow and raise awareness for these different advertisers. We may also need to jargonize a little bit. Some of these advertisers will be new to the affiliate space and won't be used to terms like AOV, ROI, and maybe even CPA. So we need a handhold a little bit more when working with these Awin Access accounts. In terms of publisher insights, as you may know, Awin likes to put together a lot of webinars. And if you wanted to showcase what you can do, you could always be a guest presenter or co-host one of the next webinars we have. These are all recorded so that advertisers have access to all the content in case they miss it out on the day or they want to rewatch to see what you can do and how you can help them. With Awin Access, we've also created something called publisher pools. Publisher pools are a curated list of some of our top publishers who've opted into the pools. The Access accounts are then able to either add the entire pool to their program or to cherry pick the publishers they want to work with. This is a way you can showcase what you do in these publisher pools to new Access accounts who've just joined the network. We also have some expectations around publisher pools, but if you want to know any more, you can reach out to us after this presentation. We can send over the rules of engagement. If you also have a lot of small advertisers coming to you to want to work with you, we can create co-branded Awin pages. This is something you can send over to the Access accounts or to the accounts so that they can join Awin Access and start working with you immediately. We've got an example of one we created for Reward Style, as Reward Style tend to have a lot of micro influencers who want to work with smaller brands, and this helps the smaller brands with the barriers to entry. And finally, if you want to hear more about our Awin Access accounts, we'll be sending out some monthly roundups of any new and best performing Access accounts on the network. So you can find some advertisers you may not be familiar with or not have heard about yet, and you can start working with them immediately and help them grow.
Great.
And now if you got, sorry.
Sorry, that's okay.
I was going to say, if you guys have any questions on anything we've mentioned in terms of maybe the publisher pools or Awin Access in general, it's a great time to kind of just pop your questions through and we'll be able to see what we can answer.
Thanks, Steph.